So here I am, and I'm back again because I want to speak about one thing that became more and more important the last month, which are questions. And I want to speak about why I think we should ask more questions. So 1 month ago, Donald Trump was elected president, and it became obvious that there is a deep disconnection between news organizations and users. And to get why this is related to questions, we need to get some steps back. As a child, actually, I had a fascination for questions, because I felt there's a certain power you have over people when you start asking questions to them. And actually, you get to understand things when you ask the right questions. So my fascination grew into an obsession, and I couldn't stop asking questions. And at the peak of my obsession, I decided I want to become a journalist, because as a journalist, you just run around and ask questions to people. But when I had become a journalist, I was irritated to see that there is miscommunication between users and newsrooms. They didn't seem to understand each other. They didn't like each other. And I thought this was wrong, because there was this phrase I heard over and over again, which was, don't read the comments, just don't. And this is wrong, because journalists are experts in asking questions, and if they don't understand their users, they should rather ask their users how they think and feel about certain questions than muting them and shutting them down in hidden comment sections. So I had this idea. I wanted to help publishers to ask their users the right questions and to orient users in crucial debates and to analyze sentiment and opinion trends for newsrooms, which I did together with my brother. I founded Opinory, and our mission is to engage the silent masses that are not heard in comment sections, and to help publishers to understand what their users think and feel. Which works with tools that are embedded in content and show the full range of opinion. So, led by a question, for example, who won the final presidential debate, we let users choose on this range between Trump and Clinton and show them how other users think about this. And we select the most interesting voices from across media and thought leaders to give users access to the full range of opinions. And we learned that when you make it easy for users to engage in debates and to comment, they will do it. And there are more users who have an opinion than those 0.5% who engage in comment sections. And we learned by numbers, we are working with 28 publishers and companies and brands with 32 million users every month and an average engagement rate of 18%, as opposed to 0.5% in comment sections. And we learned many things by asking users questions. That, for example, questions work in a different way. For example, should questions have a higher engagement rate and a higher controversy than will questions, predictive questions. And by analyzing 160 million users' votes, we also found that the strength of the opinion and engagement rates are driven by 3 factors, which are headlines, which have the highest impact on what users think, that video content actually drives higher engagement rates and controversy than text articles, and the types of questions, which I described before, which have different ways to let users respond. So looking back, 2016 brought big surprises, Brexit and Trump, and currently we're scared because we see that on the question if Merkel should become president again, we see that 62% of users say no. So looking ahead to 2017, we think that maybe to avoid this level of shocks we had last year, we should focus less on commenting and analyzing and explaining things, and more on starting a conversation with the people out there. And I think the best way to start a conversation is to ask a question. Thank you.